Most people over 65 are biologically older than their birth certificate says, and the gap is growing every single year. Researchers have discovered something that most doctors never discuss in a routine appointment. Your biological age, the age your cells actually are, can be 10, 15, even 20 years older than your real age. And the habits causing this gap are hiding in plain sight inside your daily routine. This is not about genetics. It is not about bad luck. It is about a process happening inside your body right now that most people have never been told about. Today I am going to walk you through exactly what that process is, why it accelerates after 65, and most importantly, the specific steps you can take to slow it down, starting tomorrow morning. Stay until the end, because the most powerful strategy is the last one, and it is the one almost nobody talks about. Part 2. The root cause. So what is actually happening inside your body as you age? The answer comes down to something called telomere shortening. Your chromosomes, the structures inside every cell that carry your DNA, have protective caps on each end. Scientists call these caps telomeres. Think of them exactly like the plastic tips on the ends of your shoelaces. Those plastic tips stop the lace from fraying. When they wear down, the lace falls apart. Your telomeres do the same job. Every time a cell divides and renews itself, those protective caps get a little shorter. When they get too short, the cell can no longer divide properly. It becomes what scientists call a senescent cell, a cell that is alive but no longer functioning the way it should. These worn-out cells send out chemical signals that trigger inflammation throughout the body. And here's the part most people do not know. After the age of 65, this process accelerates significantly. Stress, poor sleep, processed food, and inactivity all shorten telomeres faster. This is why two people born the same year can look and feel completely different by the time they are 70. But here is the genuinely good news. Research from some of the most respected institutions in the world has confirmed that telomere shortening is not fixed. It can be slowed. In some cases, it can be partially reversed. Your cells are not past the point of help. Not even close. Part 3. How the solutions work. Before we get into the specific strategies, let me explain why they actually work. Every solution I am about to share targets one or more of 3 biological mechanisms. First, reducing chronic inflammation, because inflammation is the fire that burns through your protective cellular structures fastest. Second, supporting mitochondrial health. Your mitochondria are the power generators inside each cell, and they decline rapidly with age unless you actively support them. Third, activating something called the SIRT1 pathway, which is essentially your body's internal repair system. Dozens of peer-reviewed studies, many of them large-scale trials with hundreds or thousands of participants, have confirmed that lifestyle changes directly influence all 3 of these mechanisms. This is not theory. This is some of the most exciting and well-supported science of the last 2 decades. And the most important thing to understand is this. These changes do not require extreme effort. They require consistency. Small daily habits create big results over time. That is the foundation of everything I am going to share with you today. Part 4. The strategies, ranked. Here are the most effective ways to slow biological aging after 65, ranked from good to exceptional. Number 8. Reducing ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods, packaged snacks, fast food, ready meals, contain chemical additives, refined sugars, and industrial seed oils that directly trigger the inflammatory cascade we talked about earlier. A study following over 11,000 adults found that those who got more than 20% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods had measurably shorter telomeres compared to those who ate mostly whole foods. The mistake most people make is thinking they can compensate with supplements. You cannot out-supplement a poor diet. Practical tip. Aim to replace just one ultra-processed item per day with a whole food alternative. One small swap, done consistently, creates a real shift over 30 days. Score, 6 out of 10. Number 7. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Sleep is when your body does its most critical repair work. During deep sleep, your brain flushes out toxic waste products through a system called the glymphatic system. Your cells also produce the highest levels of growth hormone during this window, which supports tissue repair throughout the body. Studies show that people who consistently sleep fewer than 6 hours per night have telomeres that are, on average, significantly shorter than those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. One large study put the risk of accelerated biological aging from chronic poor sleep at nearly 40% higher. The biggest mistake here is using alcohol to fall asleep. Alcohol reduces the amount of deep restorative sleep you get, even if it helps you fall asleep faster. Practical tip: keep a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Darkness and a cool room temperature are among the most powerful natural sleep triggers your body has. Score: 7 out of 10. Number 6. Daily walking, at least 30 minutes. Walking is consistently underestimated, but the research on it is extraordinary. A Harvard study tracking over 116,000 people found that those who walked briskly for 30 minutes a day had a 35% lower risk of cardiovascular-related death. Walking also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that directly damages telomeres over time. The common mistake is walking while scrolling through a phone. That eliminates much of the cortisol-reducing benefit. Walking in natural environments, even a park or a tree-lined street, produces measurably different results than walking indoors or while distracted. Practical tip: walk outside every morning after breakfast. No phone, no headphones. Just 30 minutes of movement in natural light. This also helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which directly improves your sleep that night. Score: 7 out of 10. Number 5. Strength training twice a week. After 65, the body loses approximately 1 to 2% of its muscle mass every year without resistance training. This is called sarcopenia. It is not just about how you look. Muscle loss is directly linked to faster metabolic decline, weaker bones, higher inflammation, and shorter lifespan. Research shows that just 2 sessions of moderate strength training per week can reduce biological age markers by the equivalent of several years, including improvements in insulin sensitivity, mitochondrial function, and inflammatory markers. The mistake most people make is starting too hard and stopping after an injury. Begin gently. Chair squats, wall push-ups, and resistance bands are all excellent starting points. Practical tip: commit to 2 sessions per week, for example, Monday and Thursday. Keep each session to 20 minutes. Consistency over months is far more valuable than intensity over days. Talk to your doctor before starting any new exercise program, especially if you have joint or heart concerns. Score: 8 out of 10. Number 4. Managing stress through breath work. Chronic stress is one of the fastest drivers of biological aging. When you are chronically stressed, your body releases high levels of cortisol. Sustained cortisol elevation has been shown to directly shorten telomeres, reduce immune function, and accelerate cellular aging throughout the body. A clinical study found that people who practice structured breath work for just 10 minutes a day for 8 weeks had measurably lower cortisol levels, better heart rate variability, and improved markers of cellular health. The technique that research supports most consistently is called box breathing. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds. Practical tip: do this every morning before you get out of bed. 5 to 10 minutes. This sets your nervous system into a calm, parasympathetic state that carries through the first hours of your day. Score: 8 out of 10. Number 3. Eating more polyphenol-rich foods. Polyphenol are natural plant compounds found in berries, dark chocolate, green tea, olive oil, and colorful vegetables. They are among the most well-studied anti-aging nutrients in the world. They work by activating the SIRT1 pathway, the body's own cellular repair and longevity system. Studies have shown that high polyphenol intake is associated with reduced biological aging markers, lower inflammation, and significantly lower rates of age-related disease. One large analysis found that people who regularly consumed high amounts of polyphenol had a 30% lower risk of early death from all causes compared to those who consumed very little. The mistake people make is relying on supplements. Most polyphenol supplements have poor absorption rates compared to whole foods. The real thing is always better. Practical tip: add at least 3 colors to every main meal. Blueberries at breakfast, spinach at lunch, roasted red peppers at dinner. Simple, affordable, and consistently powerful. Score: 9 out of 10. Number 2. intermittent fasting, or time-restricted eating. This one surprises many people. But the science behind it is some of the most robust in aging research. When you go 12 to 16 hours without eating, your body activates a process called autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating. It is your body's internal housekeeping system. It breaks down and removes damaged, worn-out cellular components and replaces them with healthy new ones. Studies have shown that regular intermittent fasting reduces inflammatory markers by up to 40%, improves insulin sensitivity, supports mitochondrial health, and has been associated with significant improvements in biological age markers. The most practical form for older adults is a 12-hour fast. That means finishing your last meal by 7 p.m. and not eating again until 7 a.m. Most of this fast happens while you sleep. The mistake to avoid: skipping the morning meal entirely and going much longer than 16 hours without eating. For most people over 65, a moderate 12-hour window is sufficient and safer. Extreme fasting can cause muscle loss if protein intake is not carefully managed. Talk to your doctor before starting any fasting routine, especially if you manage blood sugar or take medications with food. Score: 9 out of 10. Number 1. Daily extra virgin olive oil. This is the one that surprises almost everyone. And it is the most consistently supported anti-aging dietary intervention in the scientific literature. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which blocks the same inflammatory pathways as ibuprofen, without the side effects. It also contains hydroxytyrosol, one of the most potent natural activators of the SIRT1 longevity pathway. In the PRIDIME trial, one of the largest dietary studies ever conducted, with over 7,000 participants, those who consumed extra virgin olive oil daily had a 30% reduction in cardiovascular events and measurably slower biological aging compared to the control group. A long-term follow-up study found that high olive oil consumption was associated with a 28% lower risk of dying from any cause. 2 tablespoons per day is all it takes. But the quality matters enormously. The mistake most people make is buying cheap olive oil that has been processed, refined, or blended with cheaper oils. Much of what is sold in supermarkets is not genuine extra virgin olive oil. Look for a harvest date on the bottle, not just an expiry date. The oil should be less than 18 months from harvest. Buy it in a dark bottle to protect it from light. Practical tip: take 2 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil every morning, either straight or drizzled on whole grain toast or vegetables. Do not cook with it at high heat, as this destroys the beneficial polyphenol. Use it cold. Score: 10 out of 10. The single most powerful daily habit for slowing biological aging after 65. Today. If this video has been useful to you, please leave a like. It helps me reach more people who need this information. And if you know someone over 65 who is struggling with energy, joint pain, or just not feeling like themselves anymore, share this video with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Every week, I bring you practical, honest, science-backed information to help you live longer, feel stronger, and age on your own terms. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.